All right. Before I start this video, I think I need to say this because our Indians, they suddenly jump up, oh, racist and all that. Indian passport holder who hardly stayed in India. So Indian can talk about Indian. Okay, so relax. Okay, in this video, I'll highlight the issue why Indians take it so personally. Okay, especially when they disagree with you, and most importantly, why do they abuse? Why do they, like, they don't have any class when it comes to debating or disagreeing? And I'll explain to you what I mean. Okay, I'll explain to you what I mean. Now, before you, whoever my sensitive Indians are there, before you give me the standard cliche statements, oh, you are talking of 1 billion Indians and everyone's the same. My dear, there are certain mannerisms, behaviors that are followed by Indians. Okay? So let's stop acting like things don't exist. For example, the majority of Indians, if I say they live in India, that's a common fact, right? Majority Indians live in India. Yeah. Majority of Indians eat rice and curry. And yeah, so there are some things which are very common with Indians. Most of the Indians shake their head, right? Majority. Okay. So there are some mannerisms, there are some habits. Like, for example, Indians and the body odor. Okay. The Indians and the Indian food having strong smell, because Indian food being overcooked. Indians and the importance given to religion. So there are a lot of things which are very common to Indianish or Indianisms. Okay, Indians eating with with the fingers. And so let's not suddenly deny that. What I find really funny is people will give an exception to the rule just to prove their point. Oh, by the way, do you know the richest Indians in the world? Yeah, that is the 0.0 whatever. Oh, Sundar. And then they give stupid arguments which make no sense. Oh, Sundar Pichai. Oh, Satya Nadella. Oh, Ajay Banga, CEO of MasterCard. Indra Nooyi. Yeah, they ditched the Indian passport and took a Western citizenship. So it's like dumping your wife, let's say, someone married your sister. I'm just saying, someone dumped your sister as a wife, married another female, and you're still harping, hey, but he was my sister's husband. You're stupid or what? So anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is, our Indians, number one is they take things too personally. I can never understand that. The second one is they take it personally. If you criticize anything, you criticize a political party, you criticize a company, you criticize anything that is bad, they take it very personally. The second one is, if you criticize what is wrong, they will not address what is wrong. Rather, they will justify it by talking crap about someone else. For example, I'll give you points so that you can make sense. The first one is like, now for example, I speak about Adani Group. The prices have crashed. And I say that, he has been exposed by Hindenburg. All of a sudden you get comments like, you are anti-national, you're a traitor, or you're sucking up to the West. In fact, I was very surprised. There is one channel which I'm a big fan and follower of, Amit Sengupta or something. Very educational channel. He brought out a video supporting Adani Group without highlighting a single issue or drawback of the Adani Group's shell companies or fraud, they have actually been, under the preview of the Indian law for breaking, laws, fraud and all that. He never addressed any of this. He just said this is a Western game. There can be a possibility, yes, the West is trying to play its game. But he highlighted only drawbacks to that. And Adani is good. India is good. They associated Adani Group with India's pride and image. And I was shocked. I was like, see, fraud, you cannot justify fraud by bringing in nationalism and patriotism. That's wrong. So if you criticize what is wrong, let's say, okay, he did a fraud. Oh, the fraud happens in USA also. Fraud happens in that country also. Pakistan also. Like if you talk about, say, religious minorities suffering in India. Oh, this is, you're anti-national. They will keep giving you all this bull. The second one is, they'll justify the stupidity that is happening or the crimes and all that by talking of Pakistan, or like for example, if I say rape happens in USA also. If I say that minorities are suffering in India, okay, there's a news. Oh, minorities suffer even more in Pakistan. So if for example, I see a crime, someone getting raped in my country, and we talk about that. No, but rape happens there also. And then you get the most illogical statement. Why don't you talk about other countries? It's very simple. If I talk about Seychelles, are you interested in that? Are you interested in the GDP of Seychelles? Are you interested in like the export-import of Tanzania? Are you looking at the rules of Texas or Wyoming? No. You're interested in India, right? Because you're Indian, right? That's why you got triggered, right? So what talk about something else? And then I think the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, which I would say is the biggest, is when our Indians want to criticize or disagree with you, their favorite technique is they start with abuse and insult. Like for example, if you check my videos, below the videos, they'll normally start with "Arey chutiye," "Arey something," some Indian word, "Bosri ke," "Teri maa ki," like they'll go to your mother, sister. They'll start with some bad word to belittle you, so that makes them feel that they are superior. They can put you down, and then they will, after 1-2 words in English, they'll start something in Hindi, or I for the life of me can't read or understand what they're putting. So for them, talking is like them talking to themselves. So something "teri maa ki," this and this, "tu ja idhar udhar," blah blah blah. I mean, you're looking at a channel that's where the communication is in English, you speak in English, but you're unable to articulate your thoughts in English. See, my English is not perfect. I have a lot of errors, grammatical errors, and even pronunciation errors. But at least I make an attempt to communicate my ideas in English. If you are so much about Hindi Pindi, why don't you go to a Hindi channel and talk there? So one is using bad words. The second one is putting in Hindi. The third one is they'll only give you bad words and they'll get personal with you. They'll insult your mother, your sister. They always go with, they attack women. I don't know what it is with Indian men that they feel empowered to attack women. And then they always focus on their genitalia. Iski chu, tu uski gand, uski, like sexual. Why? I mean, sometimes I wonder, doesn't it make them realize, or aren't they aware, it makes you look cheap. You being an Indian on a global platform, you're representing a couple of Indians, or it shows you in a very poor light. And then to top it all off, they will do this very bravely from a fake account. Like they'll have some English name, or they'll have Mark, or they'll have, just think of some thumbnail or some Chinese, or they'll have some fake name, English name or whatever. And they'll busy attack you. They'll just, without realizing that I represent, see that social consciousness, that maturity is not there, that I represent India or Indians. And by giving these comments about someone's mother, brother, sister, not brother, mother, sister, or females, or using bad words, I'm showing people what we Indians are. They don't think about it that way. They look at it as, I was able to give my opinion, ha ha ha. It doesn't help the discussion. For me, whether you put good or whether you put bad, I don't mind. I'm glad you're able to express your thoughts, frustrations, anger, resentment. But it's not helping the narrative. But the main thing is, this really, I think, looks bad on Indians. It gives India a very bad name. And it's sad. It's sad for the millions of other Indians where you can have them being portrayed in a positive light. It's like one rotten apple spoils everything, Look, I'm not trying to imply here I am right. There are times I can be wrong. A lot of stuff I don't know. Learning never ends. But the solution to this is not abusing someone, giving bad words, profanity, personal attacks, attacking a mother, sister, or a woman. And that too, hiding behind a fake account. I mean, I really question Indian men. Why are you so afraid, man? Why are you so afraid that you have to hide behind a fake account? Where is your courage to have a real account and have a decent conversation? Sometimes I think that these kind of conversations, this kind of style that they have, they do it even with their friends and all that. But then, if you honestly look at it, they will never do this publicly. They'll never do it publicly. Why? Because they know they will lose. Now, does that mean that, that I'm looking at only intellectual or highly learned comments? No. Give me your opinion. Like, let's say, for example, I state that the BJP government has failed. Or I say that Adani Group, it has a lot of shell companies and it's, on its way towards failure. Let's say I give that comment. There are two ways we can go about. One is the typical, "Hey, teri maa ki, teri behan ke, chutiya, half naked, you are a this, you are a that, dog and this and that." That is one way. Another one is, look who's talking, ha ha ha, what the hell do you know? Which anyway doesn't add any value. Like, okay, you said, what do I know? What do you know? Or then you say, you're anti-national, putting some terms or claims of, okay, fine. Or you can say, sorry, but I disagree that Adani Group is, is dealing with shell companies, or the BJP government has failed. And these are my 5 reasons. And you can share your thoughts. And what is the benefit if you do that? If you do it properly, the benefit is not only it educates other people. Not only does someone who disagrees with you will read a point and expand their horizons, but it will also help you become better. Become better at articulating your thoughts, at expressing your feelings, at learning the art of writing, learning the art of communication. And overall, it will make you a much better human being. And these skills that you learn, how to articulate your thoughts online, you will be able to use it while communicating emails, while talking to people, while talking to groups, and it'll make you a better human being. Because in today's day and age, the art of communication is irreplaceable, man. You don't have that, you can't survive. Today, every communication, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's email, whether it's phone, whether it's Zoom, is communication, right? Being able to articulate your thoughts. However, the reason why they don't want to do that is because that takes time, that takes effort, and that takes using the gray matter that is in between your ears. And it involves, a little bit of discomfort. Tell me, what is easier? Just calling someone names. Hey, you're this, you're that. Is that easier? Or having the maturity to type out something worthwhile? I think it all comes down to upbringing. If someone's mother and father, and this is not to get personal or insult those individuals, who anyway I don't know who they are, because they're fake accounts. But if your mother and father taught you the right principles, you were raised to respect people, you were taught to articulate your thoughts, your mother and father would tell you, okay, tell me, what do you think? Or your teachers, your environment, your education, if they bought in a lifestyle whereby you were taught that, see, even if you disagree, tell us why and present your thoughts. If that was taught in schools, in part of their curriculum, part of their upbringing, part of the culture at home, then they would show this on a public platform. But if their father and mother would, hey, shut your mouth, and the society, hey, chubbe, and in schools, hey, chutiye, and this, then that carries forward. That becomes part of their personality. And then sadly, they use these same fundamentals with their family members, with their children. And this disease, this lack of etiquette, lack of self-respect, lack of class continues with our Indian population, which is very sad. But then that again is a reality, no? So anyway, I thought I'd share this with you. And see, I'll tell you one thing. No matter how smart, how intelligent, how educated you are, if you want to succeed in life, you need to know how to use the art of communication. You need to have emotional intelligence. I know it's an overused term, but you need to have emotional intelligence, emotional mastery, where even if you feel hurt, you're able to articulate those thoughts and communicate them. You need to have social intelligence to know, how am I behaving and how am I representing myself in front of others. And last but not the least, I think character. It speaks volumes about your character. When you're being anonymous and you're being so brave, you can talk so big. But when your real identity and you are shown, you become a coward. No sir, please sir, this and that. We have seen so many videos, no, where some Indian guy or something. I remember this infamous video where this Indian guy was I don't know, it was a parking or something. He parked his car the wrong way and the police gave him a ticket. And this guy, I don't know, he had a Punjabi kind of bangle. He goes out to the police, kya karega? And main tera bosra, this and that. He was telling him, Vardi utar, remove your uniform and I'll show you kya karega, this and that. Vardi utar, and you're shouting means take out a uniform if you're a man, and shouting and screaming, him and his wife both. And then next scene they show, he is taken in the police station and he's front of the inspector, nice sir. And then he's sitting there, he's crying and been put in the lockup. So what happened to your guts? Our Indians, when this is the final thing which I'll tell you, which is a fact. Our Indians, when they are together in groups, then they show a lot of guts. And sometimes they behave indecently, especially if a girl is walking in a group, in a festival, which is very dangerous. They will, behave very indecently, whistle, shout, scream, and touch and all that. But alone, if they're going and they see a crowd, they'll not do anything. They only get their guts when they are support with big groups of members. That is why most of our Indians, when they go abroad, they become very sheepish. They are alpha male and this and that, and they are in their comfort zone. That is why I tell you, an Indian would come to know where he stands once he travels abroad. It'll expand your horizons. It'll make you a better human being. You will think India is the greatest, India is number one, India is this, India is that, as long as you stay only in India in the four walls. Go abroad, travel, expand your horizons, not travel for a sex tourism to some third world country and take photos and all. No. Travel, work abroad, live abroad, mix with other cultures, people. And there you will come to know the good, the bad, the ugly. Not everything is good in India, not everything is bad in India. There are some things which are really beautiful about India. But you'll grow as a human being. That is why the Indians who have traveled abroad, stayed abroad, they're class apart. I'm not saying all the Indians in India are bad. Like I said, I'm not saying all the 1.3, 1.4 billion Indians are bad. But you can definitely say the majority of them, that too who are online and who show a bad image, it impacts the rest, no? And if you follow the policy of 80-20, the Pareto principle, you'll always know the majority always define the rest, right? Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree, disagree? Do you think what I've said has an iota of truth in that? And feel free to disagree with me. And yes, do post your comments down below. I would be definitely reading them. And it's always entertaining, as always. Having said that, this is me signing off. Good, bad, ugly. Comment down below. Take care.